Well, we sort of all began, the kids all knew about Little Lunch. They watched it on ABC. So as soon as I sort of brought up the competition, they were like, oh, we know this. And so we read all the books. We actually ordered all the books and we read all the books. Most of the grades, I think grades 2 to 6, read all the books in the space of a couple of weeks. So we got the kids involved and interested in that way. To get the whole school involved as well and to make it a little bit personal to our school. I'm not sure if you've heard of the VCOP writing thing where you do a big write.
Yeah.
Have you? I'm not sure. So we did a whole school big write on Little Lunch. So we basically ran a whole big write session on Little Lunch and got the whole school to come up with lots and lots of ideas. And from that's where the sort of trial and error episodes started. So we got sort of ideas that were personal that has happened at our school in previous years, like incidents that have happened outside in the classroom, outside of the classroom, and went down that track. And the kids took it as far as they could. We actually had some really good little actors last year that were in grade 6, so they sort of led the Little Lunch across the school. So, yeah.
And I think from memory, Laura, a couple of the really good, which they were all very good, your entries last year, a couple of the kids in terms of they were using techniques similar to the TV show in terms of talking to camera and that sort of first person, which is used in Little Lunch a lot when the various characters.
Yeah.
The kids were using a lot of the very similar techniques that were in the TV series.
Yes, so we did a lot of sort of pre-work leading up to it, if that makes sense. So we watched episodes, we discussed how your episodes sort of run as well, and they sort of mimicked a couple of your episodes themselves and then started creating their own. So they really, really enjoyed it. And the app itself was really, really easy to use.
So in terms of getting used to the app and them using the app, did you walk them through it first? Did they just explore it themselves? How did they get sort of confident using the app?
So initially they actually started doing the episodes just on their iPads on iMovie, I think it was. And then from there, we sort of jumped into the app and the kids really just played with it themselves to get what they wanted out of it. So we did do it on iMovie first just to sort of have the steps, but then they sort of took control. We had some really good 5/6s last year that sort of led the whole school and grabbed kids out from different grades and stuff like that. So, yeah.
So that's interesting using iMovie. So that was like your rehearsal space.
Yeah, well, I think that was more comfortable for them to get straight into it before we actually use the app itself.
Yep.
Yeah.
And things like, Laura, where you've got your 5 scenes in the app, and I think the maximum length they can be is 45 seconds. So that the kids have to sort of rehearse their various scenes to work out, right, is this going to fit into 45 seconds? Did they sort of work through those limitations?
Yeah, so with the iMovie, obviously we didn't have a limit, and that's why it was sort of handy to do it on that initially with the students, because then they could get the scenes that they wanted and shorten them in a way so they'd watch it and then go and shorten them and put it into the app, if that makes sense. So,
yep. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And from a curriculum perspective, in terms of what you felt students got out of the whole process,
yeah,
what would you identify as the main benefits, you think?
Oh, it covered so many areas of the curriculum. Like I said, we sort of did a whole school big write. So you've got your literacy block, we did the reading. We actually had a session earlier on in the year with a producer who came and taught us how to use the camera properly on an iPad and stuff like that, and actually how to film and talk and stuff like that. So look, the kids got so much out of it, and it covers so much of the curriculum. Yeah, I don't know. The kids don't think they're learning, but they are, if that makes sense. It's fun and they're enjoying it. And
that's the best type, isn't it? Best type of learning. Yeah. They don't know they're doing it.
Yeah.